The Kushan dynasty began with the Yuezhi tribe from northwest China. After being pushed out by the Huns, the Yuezhi moved to Bactria, which is now northern Afghanistan, and split into 5 groups. The most powerful group, Kushan, led by Kujula Kadphises, united the others and founded the Kushan dynasty. Kujula Kadphises expanded the empire into India and was the first major Kushan ruler. Kushan coins started as silver and copper, but gold coins were introduced later, especially under Vima Kadphises. These coins often used Greek script and showed the king's portrait, different gods and symbols from Greek, Iranian, Indian and Parthian religions, showing the empire's diversity and religious tolerance. Over time, the gold coin's purity and weight dropped, reflecting the empire's decline. The Kushan dynasty is known for its cultural mixing, strong trade and support for Buddhism. The Kushan coins are among the most significant artifacts from the Kushan Empire, reflecting its political, economic and cultural history. Initially, the Kushans issued silver and copper coins, but the introduction of gold coins by Vima Kadphises in the 2nd century CE marked a turning point. These gold coins, called dinar, were modeled on the Roman standard and issued in 3 denominations: dinar, half dinar and quarter dinar. Early Kushan coins featured bilingual inscriptions in Greek and Kharosti scripts, using Greek and Prakrit languages. After Vima Kadphises, only Greek script and language were used, with later additions of Khotanese words as royal titles and Brahmi script from Vasudeva's reign. A defining feature was the distinct royal portrait on the obverse, showing the king's unique appearance, headgear, and sometimes weapons. The reverse typically depicted a wide range of deities from Greek, Iranian, Indian, and Parthian pantheons, with names inscribed in Greek, reflecting the empire's cultural diversity and religious influences. The Shiva family, Shiva, Parvati, Kartikeya, and Nandi, was prominently shown, often with tridents and axes, while the Buddha appeared with Brahmi inscriptions. Over time, the purity of gold coins declined, from about 98% under Kanishka to 95% by Vasudeva, and the weight also decreased, indicating economic decline. The craftsmanship and use of Brahmi script became less refined in later periods. Monograms or tamgas on coins changed with each ruler, likely serving as state symbols. New royal iconography emerged, such as swords, Iranian clothing, and flames from the shoulder. Some coins, like those attributed to Sota Megas, remain of uncertain origin. The Kushan coins were widely imitated by later dynasties, including the Guptas, highlighting their lasting influence on Indian numismatics. Kujula Kadphises was the founder and first emperor of the Kushan Empire, ruling approximately from 25 to 85 CE. He is renowned for uniting the Yuezhi tribes in Bactria, which marked the beginning of Kushan power in Central and South Asia. Through military campaigns, Kujula expanded his authority over key regions, including Parthia, Kabul, Balkh, Kapisa, Gandhara, and the Indus Valley. His conquests laid the foundation for a vast empire that would later flourish under his successors. Kujula's reign is particularly notable for his extensive coinage, which has been found from the Oxus River to the Indus Valley, demonstrating his wide control. His coins were primarily silver and copper, featuring bilingual inscriptions, Greek on the obverse and Kharosti on the reverse, reflecting a blend of Indo-Greek, Scythian and Parthian influences. Early coins often imitated Greek styles, with depictions of figures like Hermes and Heracles, and included symbols such as the two-humped camel, highlighting both Greek and nomadic traditions. Some coins show Indian religious influence, with references to Shaivism and images of Nandi, Shiva's bull, and possibly even the Buddha. Kujula adopted royal titles and divine epithets on his coinage, such as Devyut and Kushan, to assert his legitimacy and the dynasty's divine right. Key types of his coins include those featuring Hermes, the king's bust with a hairband showing Roman influence, the bull and two-humped camel, a helmeted emperor with a soldier, and the king in a lotus position with Zeus. These types reflect both the political consolidation and cultural syncretism of his reign. Kujula Kadphises' leadership established the political and economic foundation of the Kushan Empire, paving the way for its expansion and prosperity under rulers like Vima Kadphises and Kanishka. His legacy is evident in the empire's enduring influence on trade, culture, and religion across Central and South Asia. The introduction and evolution of coinage in the Kushan dynasty reflect both succession complexities and broader economic and cultural shifts. The so-called Sota Megas coins, bearing the Greek title Great Savior, have sparked debate about their timing and attribution. Marshall and Stankono proposed these coins circulated between the death of Vima Kadphises and the accession of Kanishka, possibly during a period of imperial disintegration. However, this view is contested, as these coins show no direct influence from Vima Kadphises and lack evidence of empire collapse at that time. An alternative theory by Van Gutschmidt places these coins between Kujula Kadphises and Vima Kadphises, possibly linked to a local Indian prince or a governor appointed by Vima in regions like Kapisa and Punjab. Recent scholarship and the Rabatak inscription suggest that Vima Takhto, often identified with Sota Megas, ruled between Kujula and Vima Kadphises, resolving some succession ambiguities. Regarding succession, the traditional order, Kujula Kadphises, Vima Takhto or Sota Megas, Vima Kadphises, then Kanishka, is supported by numismatic and inscriptional evidence, despite some textual sources suggesting alternative sequences. Claims that Huvishka preceded Kanishka are not substantiated by archaeological or inscriptional data. Huvishka was likely a subordinate or local ruler during Vima's reign. Coinage innovations paralleled these successions. Vima Kadphises was the first to systematically introduce gold coins in India, inspired by Roman aurei, reflecting expanding trade and economic needs. These coins used Greek and Kharosthi scripts, but under Kanishka, coinage became heavier and more abundant, with Greek script standard on both sides, signifying international trade links and a prosperous economy. Kanishka's coins also introduced new royal iconography and depicted a wide range of deities, highlighting the empire's cultural and religious diversity. After Kanishka, Brahmi script began to appear on coins, marking further Indianization. The Kushan coinage system, especially its gold coins, was influential, with later dynasties like the Guptas adopting similar standards and designs. Thus, Kushan coinage not only marks succession and political stability, but also mirrors broader economic, cultural, and religious transformations in the region. Huvishka succeeded Kanishka and ruled the Kushan Empire from around 150 to 190 CE, with his reign marked by consolidation and stability rather than expansion. His territory stretched from Balkh in Bactria to Mathura in India, and the discovery of his coins and amulets as far east as Pataliputra and Bodh Gaya suggests the Kushan influence reached deep into the Indian subcontinent. Huvishka's rule is generally seen as peaceful, focusing on strengthening control over key cities like Mathura and fostering cultural and religious patronage. Huvishka's coinage is a hallmark of his reign, characterized by gold, copper, and some silver issues. His coins typically show the king facing left or right, adorned with a gem-studded high or flat cap, and often depicted with a heavy jaw, beard, and moustache. He is frequently shown holding a scepter or mace and a spear or goad, sometimes emerging from clouds with flames on his shoulders, symbolizing divinity. While some scholars once proposed multiple rulers named Huvishka due to the variety in coin types, the stylistic and inscriptional consistency across these coins strongly supports the existence of a single ruler. On the reverse, Huvishka's coins display a remarkable array of deities from Greek, Iranian, and Indian pantheons, continuing and expanding the syncretic tradition established by Kanishka. Notably, his coins are the first by a foreign ruler to independently depict Ganesha and Kartikeya, alongside Shiva, often with Uma, Heracles, Nike, Serapis, and others, reflecting the empire's religious diversity and tolerance. Huvishka's reign thus represents a period of cultural synthesis and religious patronage, maintaining Kushan power and influence across northern India and Central Asia. His coinage and policies underscore the dynasty's openness to multiple traditions and its commitment to consolidating rather than expanding its vast realm. Vasudeva I was the last great emperor of the Kushan dynasty, ruling from around 191 to 232 CE during a period marked by the decline of Kushan power. He succeeded Huvishka and reigned as the empire faced growing pressure from the rising Sasanian Empire in the northwest, leading to the loss of key territories such as Bactria and Gandhara. As a result, the empire's core shifted eastward, with Mathura emerging as the new administrative and cultural center. Vasudeva I's coins were predominantly made of gold and copper, with very few silver issues, and are found abundantly in Punjab, northwestern India, and Peshawar. The coins reflect a stylistic shift, with the king depicted in Iranian-style attire, long coat, hat, boots, and a sword at the waist, often shown offering sacrifices at an altar, holding a garland or scepter. A major innovation was the use of Brahmi script on coins, with the king's name Vasu inscribed vertically, signaling increasing Indianization. The obverse typically bore the Kushan royal title, while the reverse featured goddess names in Greek. Religiously, Vasudeva's coinage is notable for its diverse iconography. The reverse side frequently depicts Shiva and Nandi, as well as deities like Nana, Ardoksho, and unique images such as Chaturbuji Vasudeva, four-armed Vishnu or Krishna, holding chakra, conch, and mace. Shiva is often shown with 3 heads and 4 arms, holding a noose, trident, and tiger skin, sometimes identified as Pashupati. Swastika symbols and other motifs like the trident, Nandipada, and Dharma chakra appear as well. Copper coins often featured the king with Vasu and goddess figures like Oisho, that is Shiva, Ardokso, and Lekdevi. Vasudeva's Oisho-type coins are especially numerous, indicating long-term circulation. The variety and gradual changes in coin types during and after Vasudeva's reign suggest the presence of multiple rulers or successors issuing coins under his name, known as the later Bhuvan rulers. Vasudeva I's reign marks the beginning of the Kushan decline. After his death, the empire split into western and eastern halves, with the western regions soon falling to the Sasanians and the eastern territories eventually succumbing to local dynasties and later the Gupta Empire. Despite this decline, Vasudeva's coinage and patronage of Hindu and Buddhist art left a lasting cultural legacy in northern India. By the early 3rd century CE, the Kushan Empire entered a period of sharp decline, fragmenting into smaller kingdoms. This process was driven by internal strife, weak successors, and mounting external pressures from the Sasanian Empire in the west and the emerging Gupta Empire in the east. After the death of Vasudeva I, the empire split into western and eastern halves. The western territories, including Afghanistan and Bactria, were soon conquered by the Sasanians, who installed their own governors and issued coins titled Kushan Shahanshah. The eastern regions, centered in Punjab, gradually lost control to local dynasties and the Guptas. During this decline, rulers like Kanishka II, Vasudeva II, Kanishka III, and Vasudeva III governed only small, fragmented territories. Their coins, made from inferior metals and heavily adulterated with copper, reflect the empire's economic troubles. Coinage from this era often imitated earlier Kushan designs but featured new inscriptions and declining artistic quality. Local tribal entities such as the Shak, Shilad, and Gadar also issued coins, often copying Kushan styles but marking their own chiefs. The Sasanian influence became dominant in the West, with coins bearing Pahlavi inscriptions and new iconography. By the mid-4th century, the Kushan Empire had largely disappeared, leaving a legacy visible in art, religion, and coinage, but no longer a unified political force. The Kushan Empire played a pivotal role in shaping the history of Central and South Asia, fostering a unique blend of Greek, Iranian, and Indian cultures. Its rulers, from Kujula Kadphises to Vasudeva I, expanded territory, promoted religious tolerance, and revolutionized coinage by introducing gold coins and diverse iconography. The empire's coins reflect its political power, economic prosperity, and cultural syncretism. However, after Vasudeva I, internal divisions and external pressures, especially from the Sasanian Empire, led to fragmentation and decline. Despite its fall, the Kushan legacy endures in art, religion, and numismatics, marking a golden era of cross-cultural exchange and innovation in the ancient world.